The station had been dead for 30 years. Dust covered every surface. Old machines sat silent in the darkness. The air was thin and cold, and the only sound was the soft drip of water somewhere far away. Pressed his back against a broken wall. His breathing was heavy, his legs hurt, his arms hurt, everything hurt. He had been running for 6 days now, 6 days without real sleep, 6 days with only small pieces of food, 6 days of hiding, moving, and staying alive. He looked down at his hands. They were shaking, not from fear, from exhaustion. He was so tired that his body was starting to fail him, but he could not stop. Not yet, not until the job was done. The old station was called Relay 7. It had been a communication post for the Empire many years ago. Now it was nothing but metal and shadows. The Empire had abandoned it when they built newer stations closer to their home worlds. Nobody came here anymore. Nobody cared about this forgotten place floating in empty space. That was exactly why I had chosen it. He heard footsteps, many footsteps. They were not trying to be quiet. They wanted him to hear them coming. They wanted him to feel afraid. Closed his eyes for a moment. He thought about home. He thought about Earth. He thought about the small apartment where he grew up. He thought about his mother cooking rice in the morning. He thought about his father reading news on an old tablet. Simple memories, good memories, the kind of memories that made a man want to keep fighting. The footsteps stopped. Opened his eyes. She was standing at the end of the corridor, Commander Vila of the Empire. She was tall, almost 7 feet, with blue-gray skin and 4 arms. Her eyes were large and black, like pools of oil. She wore armor made of dark metal that seemed to eat the light around it. A long cape hung from her shoulders, and symbols of her rank covered her chest. Behind her stood 10 warriors, the most elite soldiers in the entire empire. Each one was a killing machine. Each one had trained since birth for combat. Each one had neural implants in their brains that made them faster, stronger, and smarter than any normal being. They never failed. In 300 years they had never lost a target. They were legends. They were nightmares. And now all 10 of them were here in this dead station for one tired human. Vila smiled. Her teeth were sharp and white. "Human," she said. Her voice was smooth like silk but cold like ice. "You have led us on quite a chase." Did not move. He stayed against the wall watching her. 6 days, Vila continued. She took a slow step forward. 6 days you have run from us, through asteroid fields, through abandoned ships, through the dark spaces between stars. You are fast for your kind, I will give you that. Said nothing. Vila tilted her head to the side. But now the chase is over. Look around you, human. My 10 elite warriors surround you. The finest soldiers the Empire has ever created. There is no escape. There is no hope. There is only death. She raised all 4 of her arms wide, showing off her warriors like they were prizes. "Do you have any last words?" she asked. "Any message you want me to send to your pathetic little planet? Perhaps you want to beg for mercy. Some humans do that. It never works, but they still try." Looked at her. Then he looked at the 10 warriors around him. They had spread out in a perfect circle, 5 on the upper level, 5 on the lower level. All of them had weapons ready. All of them were watching him with those cold, black eyes. Counted them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then he did something strange. He smiled. Vila's expression changed. The confidence on her face flickered for just a moment. "Why are you smiling, human? Do you not understand your situation? Are you broken in the mind?" Pushed himself away from the wall. He stood up straight. His body was tired, but he forced it to obey. He made his legs stop shaking. He made his hands grow still. "Perfect," he said. His voice was quiet but clear. "I needed exactly 10. Vila stared at him. "What?" "Your 10 elite warriors," said. "I needed them, all of them. You brought them right to me. Thank you, Commander." The warriors looked at each other. They did not understand. Neither did Vila. You are mad, Vila said. The fear has destroyed your mind. You are one human, you have no weapons, you have no armor, you have nothing. And you think you needed us to come here. Yes, said simply. Vila laughed. It was not a nice laugh. It was the laugh of someone who was about to kill something small and weak. Tell me then, little human, why did you need my warriors? What possible use could they be to you? You cannot fight them, you cannot run from them. What is your plan? Reached into his pocket. They raised their weapons immediately, but did not pull out a gun or a knife. He pulled out a small metal device. It was round and flat, no bigger than a coin. Do you know what this is? Asked. Vila looked at it. Her black eyes studied the device. A primitive human toy, probably useless. It is called an EMP pulse device, said. Your empire has them too, but you stopped using them long ago. You thought they were too simple, too old. Your technology is so advanced now that you forgot about simple things. Vila's smile faded slightly. What are you saying? I am saying that this entire station is dead because there is no power here. No power means no shields. No shields means no protection from electromagnetic pulses. This place is what humans call a dead zone. One of the warriors spoke. Commander, he cannot hurt us with such a small device. Our neural implants have protection against such attacks. Vila nodded. Yes, our technology is far beyond such primitive weapons. Your little device will do nothing. Shook his head slowly. You are wrong. Your implants have protection against small pulses, normal pulses, but this device is not normal. Human engineers have been working on it for 10 years. It does not send one pulse. It sends thousands. Thousands of pulses every second at different frequencies from different directions. Your implants cannot block them all. Nothing can. For the first time, saw something change in Vila's eyes. It was small, just a flicker, but it was there. Fear. You are lying, Vila said, but her voice was not as confident as before. Am I? Asked. Then let me use it. If I am lying, nothing will happen. Your warriors will kill me and you will return to the Empire as a hero, but if I am telling the truth. He did not finish the sentence. He did not need to. Vila's 4 hands tightened into fists. Kill him now. They raised their weapons. Energy hummed through the air as they prepared to fire. Press the button. The world went dark. Every light in the station died. Every machine stopped. Every weapon powered down. The hum of energy disappeared, replaced by complete and total silence. Then the screaming started. The warriors fell to the ground. They grabbed their heads with their hands. They screamed in pain and confusion. The neural implants in their brains, the technology that made them superhuman, was failing. It was not just turning off. It was overloading, sending pain signals through their entire nervous system. Had expected this. Human scientists had told him what would happen. The implants would not just stop working. They would fight against the pulse. They would try to protect themselves, and in doing so, they would cause great pain to their hosts. The pain would last for several minutes, then it would stop, and when it stopped, the warriors would wake up, but they would be different, they would be normal. No enhanced speed, no enhanced strength, no enhanced senses, just normal soldiers. Still dangerous, but no longer superhuman. Vila stumbled backward. She did not have as many implants as her warriors. Her pain was less, but she was still hurt, still confused. What have you done? She gasped. Walked toward her. His eyes had adjusted to the darkness. Humans could see in low light better than most species. Another advantage the Empire had forgotten about. I told you, he said. I needed your warriors. I needed the neural implants in their brains. Those implants contain codes. Codes that control the Empire's defense network. Codes that can shut down entire fleets. Vila's eyes went wide. No. Earth's resistance has been fighting your empire for 20 years, continued. We have lost millions of people. We have lost cities. We have lost hope, but we never stopped fighting. We never stopped looking for a way to win." He knelt down next to one of the fallen warriors. The soldier was still moaning in pain, but he could not move, could not fight. "These implants are our way," said. "With the codes inside them, we can disable your fleet. We can break your defenses. We can finally fight back." Vila tried to stand. She fell back down. You will not get away," she said. "More ships will come. More warriors. The Empire will hunt you to the ends of the universe." Looked at her, his face was calm, almost sad. "I know," he said, "but I am just one man, and one man's life is a small price to pay for the freedom of an entire planet." He reached down and began removing the implant from the fallen warrior's neck. It was a small thing, smaller than his thumb, but it held the secrets that could save humanity. Vila watched him with hate in her eyes. "You planned this, all of it, the running, the hiding. You wanted us to follow you here." "Yes." "You wanted us to bring all 10 warriors." "Yes." "You wanted us to corner you in this dead station." "Yes." Vila closed her eyes. She understood now. She understood everything. "You were never the prey," she whispered. "You were the hunter." Stood up, he held the implant in his hand. "1 down, 9 to go." "Humans have a saying," he said. "Never corner something that is more dangerous than you." He turned away from her and walked to the next fallen warrior. Behind him, Vila began to laugh. It was a broken laugh, the laugh of someone who had just realized they had lost. "The Empire will destroy you," she said. "They will burn your planet. They will kill everyone you love." Did not turn around. "Maybe," he said, "but today in this moment I won, and sometimes that is enough." He continued his work in the darkness, one implant at a time, one step closer to freedom, one step closer to hope. The hunt was over, and the human had won. 7 days before the station had stood in a room deep underground. The room was cold and gray. Water dripped from pipes on the ceiling. Old lights flickered on the walls. It was not a nice place, but nice places did not exist anymore. Not on Earth. Not since the Empire came. General sat behind a metal desk. She was old. Her hair was white and her face was full of lines, but her eyes were sharp and bright. Those eyes had seen 20 years of war. They had watched cities burn. They had watched millions die, but they had never given up hope. "You understand what we are asking you to do," she said. It was not a question. Stood straight, his hands were at his sides. "Yes, General." "Say it out loud. I want to hear you say it." Took a breath. "You are asking me to steal neural implants from the... These implants contain codes that control the Empire's defense network. With these codes, we can disable their fleet and attack their home worlds." Nodded slowly. "And do you understand what this mission will cost?" "My life," said. "Probably." "Probably," repeated. "No, not probably, certainly. No human has ever escaped no human has ever fought them and lived. This mission is not dangerous. It is impossible." Did not look away from her eyes. "I volunteer anyway." Was quiet for a long moment. She studied him like she was reading a book, like she was trying to understand the words written on his soul. "Why?" she asked finally. "You are young, you could stay here, fight in the normal way, live a few more years." "A few more years of hiding," said. "A few more years of watching my people die. A few more years of losing." He stepped forward. His voice grew stronger. "My father died in the first attack. He was a school teacher. He never held a weapon in his life. They killed him because he was standing in the wrong place at the wrong time. My mother died 2 years later. She was trying to rescue children from a burning building. A ship shot her while she ran." His face did not change. She had heard stories like this 1,000 times. "I have no family left," continued. "I have no home left. All I have is this war. And if I am going to die in this war, I want my death to mean something. I want it to matter." Stood up from her desk. She walked around it and stood in front of. She was shorter than him, but she seemed larger somehow, like her spirit was too big for her body. "There are many soldiers who want to die for Earth," she said. "But this mission does not need a soldier who wants to die. It needs a soldier who wants to win. Who is willing to die, yes, but who fights to live until the last possible moment." She put her hand on his shoulder. "Are you that soldier?" Thought about her question. He thought about his parents. He thought about the burning cities and the crying children and the bodies in the streets. He thought about 20 years of war, 20 years of losing. "Yes," he said, "I am that soldier." Smiled. It was a small smile, but it was real. "Good, then let me tell you the plan." She walked to the wall and pressed a button. A screen lit up showing a map of the galaxy. Red dots covered the map. Territory, it was everywhere, spreading like a disease. "The Empire controls 700 planets," said. "Their fleet has over 10,000 warships. Their army has billions of soldiers. Against this we have Earth. One planet, a few hundred hidden ships, a few million fighters. We cannot win a normal war. We never could." She pointed to a blue dot on the map. "Earth, it looks so small, so alone. But they have a weakness. Their entire military depends on technology. Ships, weapons, communications, defenses. All of it is connected through a central network. And that network is protected by codes. Codes that only exist in one place." The screen changed. It showed a picture of a warrior. "Neural implants," said. "Yes, every has implants in their brain. These implants connect them to the Empire's network. They use the implants to receive orders, share information, and access secure systems. But the implants also contain master codes, emergency codes that can shut down entire sections of the defense network." "Understood. You want me to get those codes?" "I want you to get 10 sets of codes," said. "One from each. With 10 sets, our engineers can break the encryption. They can find patterns. They can create a weapon that will disable the fleet." "How do I get close to 10? Smiled again. This time the smile was not warm. It was the smile of a general who had been planning something terrible. "You make them come to you." She pressed another button. The screen changed to show a space station. It was old and broken, floating in empty space. "Relay 7 said. "An abandoned station. No power, no shields, no technology of any kind, just dead metal in the void." "An EMP dead zone," said. "Exactly. The station has no protection against electromagnetic pulses. If you can lead the there, you can use this." She handed him a small device, round and flat like a coin. "Our engineers have been working on this for 10 years. It sends thousands of EMP pulses every second at random frequencies. No known technology can block all of them, not even neural implants." Held the device in his hand. It was light, so light for something so powerful. "The pulses will overload their implants," continued. "The warriors will experience extreme pain. They will be unable to move for several minutes. During that time, you can remove the implants from their bodies." "And then what? How do I escape with 10 implants while 10 angry try to kill me?" Was quiet. General asked. "You will not escape," said softly. "Not in the normal way, but you do not need to. You only need to send the implants to us. We have prepared a small drone ship. It will be waiting near the station, hidden in the asteroid field. Once you have the implants, you put them in a container. The drone will detect the container and fly it back to Earth automatically." Nodded slowly. "And I stay behind." "You stay behind. You fight for as long as you can. You give the drone time to escape. And then—" She did not finish the sentence. "And then I die," said. "Yes." The room was very quiet. Could hear his own heart beating. He could feel the weight of the device in his hand. Such a small thing, such a big price. "The drone needs 30 minutes to clear the area," said. "If you can survive for 30 minutes after sending the implants, the mission will succeed. Earth will have the codes. We will have a chance. 30 minutes against 10, said. Without any implants, without any powers, just me. Just you, agreed. That is why this mission is impossible. That is why no one else would take it. Looked at the screen. He looked at the picture of those black eyes, that dark armor, those 4 arms holding weapons designed to kill. Then he looked at the blue dot. Earth, his home, his mother's grave, his father's memory. How do I make them follow me? He asked. His eyes changed. Something like respect appeared in them. We have a spy in the Empire, she said. A who believes the war is wrong, who wants peace. This spy will send false information to Commander Vila of the information will say that a human soldier has stolen important military secrets, that this soldier knows things that could hurt the Empire. Vila will come for me. She will bring her best warriors. The spy will make sure of that. Vila is proud. She likes to show her power. She will bring all 10 to prove that no human can escape the Empire. Almost laughed. Her pride will be her weakness. Yes, they have many weaknesses. They just do not know it yet. Walked back to her desk. She sat down heavily. For a moment she looked very old, very tired. I have sent many soldiers to die, too many. Their faces keep me awake at night. Their names echo in my dreams. I will not order you to do this. I cannot. You must choose. Thought about his choice. He thought about the safe underground rooms where he could hide. He thought about the years he might have left if he stayed. Small years, quiet years, waiting for the war to slowly end in defeat. Then he thought about the alternative, one mission, one chance, one sacrifice that could change everything. General, he said, when do I leave? Looked at him. Her eyes were wet but no tears fell. Tomorrow morning. A small ship will take you to the border. From there, you will be alone. The spy will begin spreading false information as soon as you cross into enemy territory. Within hours, they will be hunting you. And I run. And you run for as long as you can. Lead them to Relay 7. Activate the device. Get the implants. Send them home. And die well. Stood up, she walked around the desk and held out her hand. Took it. Her grip was firm. Die well, soldier. Die knowing that your sacrifice may save billions of lives. Die knowing that mothers and fathers will tell their children your name. Die knowing that you were the best of us. Felt something warm in his chest. It was not fear, it was not sadness. It was something else, something like peace. Thank you, General. He turned and walked toward the door. Behind him, spoke one last time. If somehow, against all odds, you survive, come home. Earth will always welcome its heroes. Stopped at the door. He did not turn around. Goodbye, General. He walked out of the room. The door closed behind him, and just like that, the last chapter of his life began. That was 7 days ago. Now he stood in the darkness of Relay 7, surrounded by Fallen, holding the first of 10 implants in his hand. The mission was almost complete. The impossible was happening. But the hardest part was still to come. He had to survive for 30 minutes. Against 10 of the deadliest warriors in the galaxy. With no weapons. No powers. No help. Just a tired human alone in the dark. Smiled in the shadows. Come on then, he whispered. Let us see who is really the hunter. The darkness was complete. Not a single light remained in the station. The only sounds were the moans and screams of as their implants burned inside their heads, and above it all, the heavy breathing of Commander Vila as she tried to understand what had happened. Moved. He had trained for this. For 3 months before the mission, he had lived in complete darkness. He ate in darkness. He slept in darkness. He fought in darkness. His eyes had learned to use even the smallest amount of light. His ears had learned to hear the softest sounds. His body had learned to move without seeing. They had never trained this way. Why would they? They had technology. They had implants that could see in any condition. They had sensors and scanners and machines that did the work for them. The idea of fighting blind was strange to them, primitive, useless. Now they were blind and was not. He moved to the second fallen warrior. This one was a female. She was smaller than the others, but her armor was the same dark metal. She lay on her back, hands pressed against her head, eyes closed tight against the pain. Knelt beside her. He found the implant at the base of her neck. It was a small bump under her skin, no bigger than a fingernail. He pulled out a small tool from his belt. It was a surgical cutter. Simple, not electronic, no technology that could fail. He made a quick cut. The warrior screamed, but she could not move. The pain from her overloading implant was too strong. Removed the small device and put it in a bag at his side. 2 down, 8 to go. He moved to the third warrior, then the fourth. Each time he worked fast, cut, remove, store, move on. The warriors could not stop him. They could barely see him. Their bodies refused to obey their commands. By the time he reached the fifth warrior, some of them were starting to recover. The pain was fatting. Their implants were burning out, dying completely. And without the pain, they could think again, move again, fight again. "Where is he?" one of them shouted. His voice echoed through the dark station. "I cannot see him. Where is the human?" "Stay calm," Vila ordered. Her voice was stronger now, still hurt but controlled. "Form a circle back to back. Do not let him get behind you." Watched them from the shadows. 5 warriors stumbled toward each other. They moved slowly, carefully. Their feet made sounds on the metal floor. Their hands reached out, trying to find their friends in the darkness. They were scared, could hear it in their voices, see it in their movements. These warriors had never been scared before. They had always been the strongest, the fastest, the best. Now they were just normal soldiers, blind in the dark, hurt and confused. Felt something strange. It was not happiness. It was not pride. It was sadness. These warriors had been made into weapons by their empire. They had never chosen this life. They were just doing what they were taught to do, what they were forced to do. But could not let that stop him. He had a mission. He had a duty. He had 30 minutes to stay alive, and that time was running out. He moved toward the 6th warrior. This one was still on the ground, still screaming. The implant had been deeper in his brain. The pain was worse for him. Made the cut quickly. The warrior's scream changed to a gasp, then silence. The implant came out, covered in blue blood, put it in the bag with the others. 6 down, 4 to go. "He is still here," one of the standing warriors shouted. "I heard something over there." They turned toward the sound, but was already moving. He was not where they thought he was. He had learned that lesson long ago. Make a sound in one place. Move to another. Let the enemy chase shadows. "Spread out," Vila commanded. "Find him. He cannot have gone far." "Commander, we cannot see," another warrior protested. "We should wait for our eyes to adjust." "We do not have time to wait. He is taking the implants. Every moment we delay, he gets closer to victory." Smiled in the darkness. Vila was smart. She understood the situation, but understanding and winning were not the same thing. The 7th warrior was trying to stand. She was leaning against a wall, shaking her head, trying to clear her mind. Came up behind her, quiet, soft, like a ghost. She sensed him at the last moment. She turned, hands raised to fight, but she was slow now, normal speed, human speed. Was faster. He grabbed her wrist and twisted. She cried out in pain. He pushed her against the wall, holding her still with his body weight. With his free hand, he made the cut. The implant came out. "No," she screamed. "No, stop." But it was already done. Released her and disappeared into the shadows. 7 down, 3 to go. The other warriors heard the scream. They ran toward the sound. Their feet pounded on the metal floor. Their hands searched the darkness. One of them shouted, "Where are you? Answer me." "Here," the female warrior gasped. "He was here. He took my implant. He is so fast I could not see him." Vila's voice cut through the chaos. "Everyone stop moving, stop making noise, listen." The warriors obeyed. The station went quiet. Held his breath. He pressed himself against a broken machine. He made his body as small as possible. He did not move, did not breathe, did not think. 10 seconds passed, 20, 30. "I cannot hear anything," one warrior whispered. "Quiet," Vila hissed. "He is here, I know he is here. Humans cannot stay silent forever. They need to breathe. Their hearts make sounds, we just need to listen." She was right, knew she was right. He could not hold his breath much longer. His lungs were starting to burn. His chest was starting to shake. He needed a distraction. Slowly, carefully, he reached into his pocket. He pulled out a small metal ball. It was just a bearing from an old machine. He had picked it up earlier, thinking it might be useful. He threw it. The ball flew through the darkness. It hit a wall far away. The sound echoed through the station. "There," a warrior shouted. "He is over there." 2 of them ran toward the sound, waited until they were far away. Then he moved toward the 8th warrior. This one was smarter than the others. He was not standing in the open. He was hiding behind a pillar, his back protected. His hands were raised, ready to fight. Would have to be careful. He circled around the pillar. His feet made no sound. His breathing was slow and quiet. He watched the warrior's shadow, waiting for the right moment. The warrior turned his head. Just a small movement, just a quick glance. Strug. He came from the side, where the warrior was not looking. His hand closed around the warrior's neck. His other hand pressed against the warrior's back, finding the implant. The warrior tried to fight. He was strong. Even without his implants, he was much stronger than. His muscles pushed against grip. His elbow swung back, hitting in the ribs. Pain exploded through his body. He gasped. His grip weakened. The warrior spun around. His fist flew towards face. Ducked, the fist missed by an inch, rolled to the side and scrambled away. "He is here," the warrior shouted. "I have him, help me." Footsteps pounded toward them. Vila and the remaining warriors were coming. Could not run. He could not hide. The warrior in front of him was blocking his path. He had seconds before the others arrived. He had no choice. Charged. The warrior raised his hands to fight, but did not try to punch him. He dove low, sliding between the warrior's legs. As he passed, his hand found the implant at the back of the warrior's neck. He pulled. The implant came out, trailing blood. The warrior screamed and fell to his knees. Kept running. He did not stop to put the implant in his bag. He held it in his hand as he sprinted through the darkness. Behind him, voices shouted and footsteps followed. 8 down, 2 to go. He ducked into a small room. It had been some kind of control center once. Old screens covered the walls. Dead machines sat in the corners. There were many places to hide. Pressed himself into a dark corner. He put the 8th implant in his bag. Then he waited. His body was hurting. The blow to his ribs had been hard. Maybe something was broken. He could feel blood running down his side from a cut he did not remember getting. He was tired, so tired. His muscles were screaming for rest. His eyes were heavy. His mind was foggy. But he could not stop. Not yet. 2 more implants, 2 more warriors. Then he could send the bag to the drone. Then he could rest. Forever. The footsteps came closer. He could hear Vila giving orders. She was organizing her remaining warriors, setting up a search pattern. She would not let him escape again. "Human," Vila called out. "I know you can hear me. You have fought well. Better than any human I have ever seen, but it ends here. There are still 3 of us standing. You are wounded. You are tired. You cannot win." Said nothing. He stayed in his corner, breathing slowly, gathering his strength. "Give us the implants," Vila continued. "Come out peacefully. I will give you a quick death, painless, honorable. It is more than most humans deserve." Almost laughed, a quick death, honorable, as if they knew anything about honor. Or, Vila said, her voice growing cold, you can keep fighting, and I will make your death last for days. I will break every bone in your body. I will burn every inch of your skin. I will make you beg for the end. Closed his eyes. He thought about Earth. He thought about the general's words. He thought about the children who would never know his name. Then he opened his eyes. 2 more implants, 2 more warriors. He stood up from his corner. His body protested. Every muscle screamed in pain, but he forced himself to move. He was not done yet. Come and find me then, he whispered into the darkness, if you can. And he disappeared into the shadows once more. Moved through the station like water, flowing, silent, never staying in one place too long. He had 2 more implants to get, 2 more warriors to defeat, and the clock was running. He did not know exactly how much time had passed. There were no clocks in the dead station, no machines to tell him the minutes, but he could feel it. He had been fighting for maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15. The drone needed 30 minutes to escape. He still had time. But not much. The 9th warrior was named Dex. Did not know his name, of course. He was just a target, but if he had known the name, he would have remembered it, because Dex was the biggest of the, almost 8 feet tall, 4 arms like tree trunks, muscles that looked like they were carved from stone. Even without his implants, Dex was dangerous. Found him in a large room on the lower level. It had been a storage area once. Empty metal boxes were scattered across the floor. Broken pipes hung from the ceiling. And in the center of the room, Dex stood alone, waiting. I know you are there, human, Dex said. His voice was deep and rough. I can smell your blood. You are hurt. You are leaving a trail. Looked down at his side. The warrior was right. Blood was dripping from his wound, making small puddles on the floor. He had not noticed. He had been too focused on the mission. Now the blood was leading his enemies right to him. Had to change his plan. He could not sneak up on Dex. The warrior already knew where he was, so he would have to do something different, something unexpected. He stepped out of the shadows. Dex turned toward him. Even in the darkness could see the warrior's smile. It was a cruel smile, the smile of someone who enjoyed hurting things. There you are, Dex said. The little human who thinks he can fight the little human who got lucky with his toy. It was not luck, said. His voice was calm, steady. It was planning. Planning, Dex laughed. The sound echoed through the empty room. You plan to die, because that is what is going to happen. I am going to crush your bones and drink your blood. I am going to make you scream until your throat tears apart. Did not move. He did not show fear. He just watched the giant warrior with quiet eyes. You talk too much, said. Dex's smile disappeared. His 4 arms tightened into fists. You will pay for that, little human. He charged. The ground shook with each step. Dex was huge and powerful. His fists swung through the air like weapons. If even one of them hit, it would be over. Bones would break. Organs would burst. Death would be quick. But had something Dex did not have, speed. Had always been fast. Even as a child, he had been the fastest in his village. The other children could never catch him in games. The other soldiers could never beat him in training. And now, after years of war, after months of special preparation, he was faster than ever. He moved to the side. Dex's fist missed by a foot, ducked under the 2nd fist. He rolled under the 3rd. He jumped over the 4th. Dex roared in anger. He swung wildly, trying to hit something, anything, but was never where he expected. Stay still, Dex shouted. Fight me like a warrior. I am fighting you, said. He was already behind Dex, moving in a circle. I am just fighting smarter. Dex spun around. His elbows swung back in a wide arc. This time was not fast enough. The elbow caught him in the chest. Pain, white-hot pain, flew backward and crashed into a pile of empty boxes. The metal cut into his back. His vision went dark for a moment. He could not breathe, could not think. "Get up." The voice in his head was loud, demanding. It was the voice of every soldier who had died for Earth, every mother who had lost her child, every child who had lost their home. "Get up, the mission is not over. Get up." Opened his eyes. Dex was walking toward him, slowly, taking his time, enjoying the moment. "That hurt, did it?" Dex asked. "Good, I want it to hurt. I want you to feel every moment of your death." Reached behind him. His hand found something in the pile of boxes, a piece of metal pipe, long and heavy, not a real weapon but better than nothing. He stood up. Dex stopped walking. "What are you doing? Stay down, accept your death." "No," said. He held the pipe in front of him like a sword. "I am not dying here, not yet." Dex laughed again. "You think that little stick will save you? You are even more foolish than I thought." He charged again, faster this time, angrier. Did not try to run, he waited, he watched, he timed his move perfectly. Just as Dex reached him, dropped to the ground. He slid between the warrior's legs just like before. But this time, as he passed, he swung the pipe upward with all his strength. The pipe hit Dex right between his legs. The sound Dex made was not a scream. It was something deeper, something primal. He stopped moving. His 4 hands reached down to protect himself. His knees buckled. Was already behind him. He jumped onto the warrior's back. His left arm wrapped around Dex's neck. His right hand found the implant at the base of the skull. Dex tried to shake him off. He swung his arms backward trying to grab, but the pain was too strong. He could not focus, could not fight properly. Made the cut, the implant came out. 9 down, 1 to go. Dex collapsed to the ground. He was still alive, but he was crying, actual tears running down his blue-gray face. The great warrior, the giant killer, was crying like a child. Felt nothing, no victory, no satisfaction, just tiredness. He put the 9th implant in his bag and walked away. The last warrior was waiting in the main corridor. Her name was, and she was the youngest of the. She had only been a warrior for 5 years, but she was also the fastest, the most flexible, the most dangerous in close combat. And she was standing next to Commander Vila. Saw them from the end of the corridor, 2 figures in the darkness, waiting for him. 9 implants, Vila said. Her voice was cold, hard, like stone. You have taken 9 of my warriors, 9 of the greatest soldiers in the Empire, defeated by 1 human with a toy and a pipe. Walked toward them. He did not try to hide. There was no point anymore. You are a monster, Vila continued. I see that now. You are not like other humans. You are something else, something dark. I am just a man, said. A tired man who wants to go home. Home, Vila repeated. You think you can go home. You think you can escape. Even if you defeat, even if you take her implant, you will never leave this station. I will kill you myself. Stopped walking. He was 10 feet away from them now, close enough to see their faces, close enough to see the hate in their eyes. Maybe, he said, but first I need that last implant. Stepped forward. She was smaller than the other warriors, thinner, more graceful. Her 4 arms moved with perfect precision like a dancer's arms. I will not be as easy as the others, she said. They relied on their implants. I trained without them. I am still fast, still deadly. Good, said. I was getting bored. Attacked. She was fast, faster than expected. Her fists flew toward him in a blur. 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4 arms moving at once, blocked the first punch, dodged the second. The third grazed his cheek. The fourth hit his shoulder. He stumbled backward, followed, pressing her advantage. She was relentless. Her attacks came from every direction, high, low, left, right. There was no pattern, no way to predict. Was losing, he could feel it. He was too slow, too tired, too hurt. Every block sent pain through his arms. Every dodge took more energy than he had. But he could not give up. Not now, not when he was so close. He remembered something his father had told him once, a long time ago when was just a boy. They were watching the sunset together, sitting on the roof of their small house. His father had said, "When you are tired, when you are hurt, when you think you cannot continue, remember this. The body will always quit before the mind. Your body will tell you to stop, to give up, to rest, but your mind is stronger. Your mind can push the body beyond its limits. You just have to believe." Believed. He stopped blocking, stopped dodging, he let hit him. One punch to the ribs, one punch to the face, one punch to the gut. The pain was incredible, blinding. Everything in him screamed to fall down. But he did not fall. Instead, he grabbed his arm, the one that had just hit him. He grabbed it and he did not let go. His eyes went wide. She tried to pull away, but held on. His grip was iron. His will was stronger than his pain. He pulled her toward him, close, so close that they were almost touching. Then he headbutted her. Their foreheads crashed together, cried out. Her other arm swung wildly but was too close. They could not reach him. He headbutted her again, and again, and again. Blood ran down both their faces. His blood, her blood mixed together. Stopped fighting, her eyes rolled back, her body went limp. Caught her as she fell. He lowered her gently to the ground. Then he took her implant. 10 down, none to go. Looked up at Commander Vila. The commander was staring at him with something new in her eyes. It was not hate anymore. It was not anger. It was fear. "What are you?" she whispered. "What kind of creature are you?" Put the last implant in his bag. He closed the bag and held it tight against his chest. "I told you," he said, "I am just a man." Then he turned and walked toward the window. Outside in the darkness of space he could see a small light, a drone ship, waiting for its package. The mission was almost complete. But Vila was not done yet. He could hear her moving behind him, hear her picking up a weapon, hear her getting ready to fight. He had 30 minutes to survive. And the hardest part was just beginning. Reached the airlock. His hands were shaking as he opened the bag and looked at the 10 implants inside. Such small things, smaller than his thumb, but they held the power to change the war, to save his planet, to give humanity a chance. He pulled a metal container from his belt. It was small and round, designed to survive the cold of space. He put all 10 implants inside and sealed it tight. Then he opened the airlock and threw the container into the void. For a moment, nothing happened. The container floated in the darkness, spinning slowly. Then a small light appeared, the drone ship. It moved toward the container, grabbed it with its metal arms, and began flying away. 30 minutes. The drone needed 30 minutes to escape. Closed the airlock and turned around. Vila was standing at the end of the corridor. She had a weapon in her hand. It was old, not powered by technology, just a long blade made of dark metal, a sword from the old times before the Empire had its machines. "That was a mistake," Vila said. Her voice was cold and steady. "You should have kept those implants, used them as a bargaining chip. Now you have nothing." "I have everything," said. "The implants are going home. That is all that matters." "You will die here." "Maybe, probably, but Earth will get the codes, and that means we will win." Vila walked toward him. Her steps were slow and measured. The sword swung gently at her side. "You cannot win," she said. "You are one planet against an empire, one species against 1,000. Even with those codes, even if you disable our fleet, we will rebuild. We will come back, and we will destroy you." Leaned against the wall, his body was broken. Blood ran from a dozen cuts. His ribs were cracked. His vision was blurred. He was barely standing. "Maybe," he said again, "but humans are stubborn. We do not give up easily. We have been fighting each other for thousands of years. We have survived wars and plagues and disasters that would have destroyed other species, and we always come back, always." Vila stopped a few feet away from him. Her black eyes studied his face, studied his wounds, studied the way he stood there, broken but not defeated. "Why?" she asked. The question was genuine, curious. "Why do you fight so hard? What makes your species so desperate to live?" Thought about the question. He thought about his parents, his home, the children playing in the streets before the war, the old people sitting in the parks telling stories about better times. "Because we love," he said finally. "We love our families, our friends, our homes, and when something threatens what we love, we fight. We fight until there is nothing left, until our bodies break and our hearts stop. We fight because love is stronger than fear." Vila was quiet for a long moment. Something changed in her eyes. Something soft appeared just for a second. Then it was gone. "Love," she said. "The Empire does not believe in love. We believe in power, in control, in order. Love is a weakness." "No," said. "Love is a strength, the strongest force in the universe. It makes us do impossible things, survive impossible odds, defeat impossible enemies." He pushed himself away from the wall. He stood straight, even though every muscle screamed in protest. "You asked what kind of creature I am," he continued. "I am a human. I am weak and small and fragile, but I have something your warriors do not have. I have a reason to fight. A real reason, not duty, not orders, not pride, love." Vila raised her sword. The blade pointed at his heart. "Beautiful words," she said, "but words do not stop swords." "No," agreed, "they do not." He looked at the blade, he looked at Vila, he thought about the 30 minutes. How much time had passed? 20, 25, he had lost track. He needed to survive just a little longer, just a few more minutes. "We could fight," he said. "You are faster than me now, stronger, you have a weapon and I have nothing, you would probably win." "Probably," Vila laughed. It was a short, bitter laugh. "I would certainly win." "Maybe, but I would hurt you first. I would make you bleed. And when your reinforcements arrive, when they come to take your body back to the Empire, they will see what one human did to the mighty. They will see 10 of your best warriors lying on the ground. They will see their commander wounded by a man with no weapons." He took a step toward her. His eyes never left hers. "And they will be afraid. They will go back to the Empire and tell stories about this day, about the human who walked into a trap and turned it into a victory, about the man who did not know how to give up." Vila's sword did not move, but her hands were shaking slightly. "The Empire does not fear humans," she said, but her voice was not as confident as before. "Not yet," said, "but they will. After today, they will start to wonder, what if other humans are like me? What if there are more of us who will not break? What if every battle against Earth costs them more than they expect?" He stopped walking. He was right in front of her now. The tip of her sword touched his chest. "Fear is powerful," said quietly. "More powerful than any weapon. If you kill me now, I become a story, a legend. The human who defeated the Alone, the human who stole your greatest secrets, the human who died smiling at his enemies." Vila stared at him. Her black eyes were wide. Her hands were definitely shaking now. "But if you let me go," continued, "if you tell the Empire what happened here, you can control the story. You can say that you chose to spare me, that you showed mercy, that humans are not worth killing." "You want me to lie?" Vila asked. "I want you to survive. If you kill me, the Empire will ask questions. They will want to know how one human beat 10. They will investigate. They will find out about your pride, your overconfidence, your mistakes, and they will punish you." Vila's jaw tightened, could see the conflict in her eyes, the battle between her duty and her survival. "But if I escape," said, "you can say I tricked you, used some unknown technology, ran away before you could catch me. The Empire will not blame you. They will blame the humans. They will focus on us instead of you." Silence filled the corridor. The only sound was Vila's heavy breathing. "You are clever," she said finally, "too clever for a human." "We are all clever," said, "you just never noticed before." The sword stayed at his chest. One push and it would go through his heart. One thrust and everything would be over. Then slowly, Vila lowered the blade. "Go," she said. Her voice was barely a whisper. "Go before I change my mind." "Did not move. There is one more thing." "What?" "I need you to deliver a message to your empire. To every general, every commander, every soldier who thinks they can beat humanity." Vila's eyes narrowed. What message? Looked at her. His face was calm. His voice was steady. Despite the blood and the pain and the exhaustion, he looked like a man who had already won. "Humans do not fight fair," he said. "We do not follow rules. We do not care about honor or tradition or proper warfare. We fight to win, always, by any means necessary. And if you come for our planet again, if you try to destroy our homes and kill our families, we will make you pay. Every battle will cost you. Every victory will be hollow. Every step forward will be 2 steps back." He paused. His eyes were bright with something that might have been fire. "Tell your empire that the age of easy conquest is over. Tell them that Earth is not a prize to be won. Tell them that we are the monsters in the dark, and we are just getting started." Vila stood frozen. The sword hung loose in her hand. She looked like someone who had just seen the future and was terrified by what she saw. "I will tell them," she said quietly. "I will tell them everything." "Good." Turned and walked away. His legs were weak. His body was failing, but he kept walking, down the corridor, past the fallen warriors, through the darkness of the dead station. Behind him, Vila watched him go. She did not follow. She did not attack. She just watched like a witness to history. Found a small escape pod near the back of the station. It was old and broken, but it still worked. No technology to fail, just mechanical systems. Simple, reliable. He climbed inside and closed the door. Through the small window he could see the stars. So many stars. And somewhere out there, the drone ship was flying toward Earth, carrying the implants that would change everything. He pressed the launch button. The pod shuddered and began to move. Slowly at first, then faster and faster, carrying him away from the station. Away from the war. Leaned back in his seat. He was dying, he knew that. The wounds were too many. The blood loss was too great. He would not survive the journey home. But that was okay. He closed his eyes and thought about Earth. He thought about the blue sky and the green trees and the sound of children laughing. He thought about his mother's cooking and his father's stories. He thought about all the people who would live because of what he had done today. 10 implants, 10 codes, 1 chance to save humanity. He smiled. In the distance, a rescue ship was arriving at Relay 7. They would find Vila standing alone in the darkness, surrounded by her fallen warriors. They would ask what happened, and she would tell them. She would tell them about the human. And for the first time in 300 years, the Empire would know fear. Opened his eyes one last time. The stars were beautiful, so beautiful. He had never really looked at them before. He had been too busy fighting, too busy surviving. Now he had time. "I did it," he whispered to no one. "I did it." The pod sailed through the darkness, carrying its broken passenger toward home. And somewhere in the void, a small drone ship completed its mission, delivering 10 precious implants to the hands of waiting scientists. The war was not over. It would never be truly over. But today, for the first time in 20 years, humanity had hope. And it was all because of one tired soldier who refused to give up. One man who looked at impossible odds and smiled. One human who taught an empire that some things were worth dying for. Some things were worth everything. The stars watched silently as the pod disappeared into the distance. The story of would spread across the galaxy. It would become a legend, a warning, a promise. Humans do not fight fair. They fight to win. And they always, always come back. The end.